When the 2025 Delhi Assembly elections were announced, all the contesting parties knew that the key to power in the national capital rested with its women voters. And so all the parties rushed to woo them with promises of monthly cash benefits, free bus rides, and dedicated pension schemes. Over 1.5 years later, the BJP government in Delhi is set to roll out one such promise, but the quintessential conditions apply. The Delhi Lakshmi Yojna, which offers a monthly assistance of Rs 2,500 to women from economically weaker sections, is a series of eligibility and disqualification hoops and even guidelines on how this money should be used. The benefit, which is expected to reach around 17 lakh women, according to officials, will cover women between 21 and 60 years of age whose family income is up to 2.5 lakh rupees per annum and has been living in Delhi for at least 10 years. But a woman who has more than 3 children or who pays income tax or files GST returns or whose family owns a four-wheeler or whose family consumes more than 2,400 units of electricity or who has a criminal record will not be eligible. Those applying will also have to submit an endorsement letter from the MP or MLA of their constituency. Every application will go through a 4-stage verification process. And once a woman does succeed in jumping through all of these hoops to qualify for the scheme, she is still not entitled to receive the money directly in her bank account. Instead, she is given 2 ways to receive the benefit. She can either choose to have the entire sum of Rs 2,500 invested in an RD or an FD account, or receive Rs 1,000 through a central bank digital currency wallet and have the remaining Rs 1,500 deposited into an RD or an FD account. And if she picks the second option, she still doesn't get to choose what she would spend the money on, because the CBDC wallet that I just mentioned comes with its own list of goods and services that the money cannot be used for, including alcoholic beverages, tobacco products, and lottery tickets. The destiny of election-linked freebies goes through a similar life cycle in most states. It includes a broad, open-ended announcement right before the election to woo voters, a harsh reality check owing to financial constraints once the party actually comes to power, a realization that the promise in its entirety may be unsustainable, and then a scheme that is just a faint shadow of the promise that birthed it. In Maharashtra as well, in a bid to retain power, the BJP-led ruling Mahayuti promised cash handouts of Rs 1,500 to women under the Mukhyamantri Maji Ladki Bahin Yojna in 2024. To bolster its commitment, over 2.3 crore beneficiaries received monthly installments of Rs 1,500 payout for months before the polls. But since then, the number of beneficiaries under the scheme has fallen to 1.66 crore, with around 81 lakh registered beneficiaries being removed from the scheme following an eKYC verification drive citing non-eligibility. Ineligible beneficiaries included overage women, vehicle owners, government employees, and even 14,000 men who had received this benefit earlier before the elections. Similarly, the Mukhyamantri Mahila Rozgar Yojna, a Bihar government initiative, was launched by the Prime Minister a month before the polls in November 2025 to transfer Rs 10,000 each into the bank account of 75 lakh women across Bihar. The scheme promised the possibility of additional financial support of up to Rs 2 lakhs in subsequent phases, but these installments haven't reached the women so far. Then Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar had announced in January that action to release the second installment under the scheme had been initiated, but opposition in the state has alleged that the state's coffers are empty and that the installments haven't come through. While the schemes are often credited by analysts and even parties themselves for bringing them into power, their implementation is often a far cry from the promises that are made during elections, no matter the party in question, whether it is the Mahayuti government in Maharashtra, the BJP government in Delhi and Haryana, the Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab, or the Congress government in Karnataka and Himachal Pradesh. Experts explain that whenever elections are being held, there is always a tendency for these policies to be spoken about, but at the end of the day, all governments have to function according to the fiscal responsibility and budget management rules and the fiscal space available to them. For a state government, the implementation of broad-based election promises often turns out to be a double-edged sword as well. So let's take the examples of two such promises, one in Punjab and the other in Karnataka. So when the Aam Aadmi Party threw its hat in the ring for the Punjab Legislative Assembly elections in 2022, it emerged as a major alternative to the Congress, the Shiromani Akali Dal and the BJP in the state. And one of their 5 guarantees was a monthly allowance of rupees 1,000 to women aged 18 years and above. But what followed over the next 4 years was a prolonged wait that may have also hurt Arvind Kejriwal's campaign in the 2025 Delhi Assembly elections, which the AAP lost to the BJP. While the AAP government never openly blamed financial constraints for the delay in implementation of the promise in Punjab, the state's economy has often been a cause of concern. Its revenue deficit, even when adjusted for inflation, increased 5-fold from rupees 544 crore in 1990-1991 to rupees 24,588 crore in 2022-23. And its debt to GSDP ratio has remained between 45% and 47% in the recent estimates. It is projected to be 45.1% in the state's 2026-27 budget, which is the highest among large states. It was only on 1st July this year, with just months to go before the next Punjab elections, that the government rolled out the Mama Dhyan Satkar Yojna to provide financial assistance of rupees 1,000 per month to general category women and rupees 1,500 per month to women belonging to the scheduled castes. A dedicated budgetary outlay of rupees 9,300 crore was earmarked for the scheme for this financial year. Meanwhile, Punjab's outstanding debt is projected to approach the rupees 4.50 lakh crore mark during this financial year. The scheme was announced in the 2026-27 budget, with Punjab Finance Minister Harpal Singh Cheema calling it Sari Garantiyan Puri Karan Wala budget, or a budget to fulfill all guarantees, saying that 97% of all adult women in Punjab will be eligible under the scheme. The money has initially been transferred in the bank accounts of nearly 36 lakh women, releasing 3 installments together. And those who have registered themselves but haven't gotten the money yet have been assured that they would receive the installment on 1st of August. Now, while Punjab's promise remained on paper for 4 out of its 5-year term, the opposite happened in Karnataka. The government is implementing its promises but has been criticized for doing so at the cost of development. In fact, 2 months after the victory in the state government came under fire from the opposition when Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar made a statement that it did not have funds for development, as it had budgeted rupees 40,000 crore for implementing the 5 election guarantees that you can see on your screens right now. Then in February this year, D.K. Shivkumar reportedly admitted that the guarantees were a burden on the state exchequer, but that they will continue. However, he hinted at some pruning in the list, saying that many people were drawing benefits in the name of dead people. A 2025 report of the CAG, or the Comptroller and Auditor General of India, on the state's finances for 2023-24 also made a startling revelation. It said that the guarantee schemes reduced the capital expenditure towards infrastructure by around 5,229 crore when compared with the previous year. Let's look at another example of Haryana. In September 2024, weeks before the Haryana Assembly elections, BJP National President JP Nadda released the Sankalp Patra for the polls with much fanfare. This document promised that all women in Haryana will receive rupees 2,100 per month. Last year in September, the Nayab Saini government notified the Deen Dayal Lado Lakshmi Yojna 2025, stipulating a benefit of rupees 2,100 per month for every eligible woman to fulfill its promise. But the notification considerably reduced the ambit of the scheme, and subsequent notifications shortened it further. So by January this year, only 10 lakhs of the 80 lakh potential beneficiaries had registered for the scheme. In January this year, the cabinet approved more changes to the scheme. While the additional eligibility criteria slightly expanded the ambit of the scheme to be able to include more women, the guidelines now split the rupees 2,100 monthly benefit and logged half of it in a state-operated deposit account. This amount accumulated in the deposit account will be paid to the beneficiary on maturity, and the term of the deposit will be decided by the government, although it cannot exceed 5 years. Now, in the neighboring state of Himachal Pradesh, the Congress government had also promised something. It promised to hike the number of free units of electricity to 300 and provide rupees 1500 per month for all women between 18 to 60 years before coming to power in the state in 2022. A month before this promise by the Congress, the then BJP government in the state had launched the 125 units of free electricity scheme, claiming that over 14 lakh electricity consumers were now getting zero electricity bills. Now, the Congress won the election, but instead of a hike, the new government had to, by 2024, it had to rationalize even the 125 units free scheme, excluding tax-paying consumers from it and restricting its application to one family per meter. Citing severe financial crunch, Industries Minister Harshvardhan Chauhan had told the media that while the BJP government launched the scheme, the burden was borne by the Congress government. On 1st January 2025, Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu's New Year's gift to his state came in the form of relinquishment of the subsidy on all 5 power connections registered in his name. Simultaneously, he also urged affluent citizens in the state to also relinquish their subsidies. In the budget this year, with assembly elections scheduled for late next year, the government finally announced that it would provide 300 units of free electricity per month, but only to 1 lakh poorest families in the state under the Mukhyamantri Apna Sukhi Parivar Yojna. Now, explaining this pattern in different states, experts also point to a changing nature of the democracy in India itself. They say that political parties no longer treat their voters as citizens, but as consumers, and that voters know this. I have written a more in-depth article on this, and I'll be adding a link to that article in the description of this video. Please check it out as well. This is Apoorva Mandhani for ThePrint. For more such videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you so much for watching.